How are you doing today?
It's different moments throughout the day. So right now, just thankful we have fresh air and the sun is shining and we're in Santa Barbara. But, earlier this morning, I was definitely crying. And when we talk about it, I get just so emotional. But yeah, thankful that we are safe and alive. And we know that we are just thankful for, being here.
Spencer, what are you telling the boys? Like, how do you explain this to them?
Thankfully, one is two, and he's just so happy. If Heidi or I start crying, he like smacks our face, and so he's a real like powerful just force of switching the energy. And our 7-year-old, I keep saying he's just so much stronger than me. And like during the whole time, he's just like so hard, like just breaking down, and then you try not to, and you'll be like driving, and they'll like, see you like crying, and they'll be like, "Don't cry, Dad, like we have so many great memories and you took so many videos and photos on your phone." And so it's like he's doing, I don't know if he's just projecting positivity, and like obviously at his new school he has like mental health counselors, so we're not like just assuming he's fine.
But still, that must mean the world to you to have your child kind of help you.
Yeah, I'm trying really hard to talk him through it and his emotions too, and being like, he has had moments where he's cried and been like, I miss my friends and I miss my school, and to say, it is really sad and it is a lot that you're going through, and just really validate his feelings too. So I'm just trying really hard to emotionally take care of him, and that's been my main priority also, and get us adjusted and get him in a new school and in a routine, and just trying to compartmentalize and balance everything.
I want to ask you about those moments and the videos you posted, because it almost looked like a movie. And can you describe what it was like on the ground? Because I don't think people can really fathom the devastation. Having been there and seen it, it is unbelievable. It breaks your heart every time you see it.
I was always, we Snapchat our whole life. So when it first happened, it was on our hiking trail, so I went up and I could see it 2 ridges over. So I'm Snapchatting because I know these firefighters. This happened before. They come in, they come with the planes, they take it out. They're superstars. So I was confident, and I wasn't like Snapchatting the demise of our entire life as we knew it. So I probably wouldn't even have been making content, but I was so confident in like this was going out because this fires happen in California. It's part of the thing, and they're able to lock them down. So once, at a certain time, there was these 2 super scooper guys that were just made Tom Cruise and Top Gun look like they were, action movie times 100. Yeah. And I was like calling Heidi, I'm like, we're good, just pack some stuff. These guys got it. And then those planes left, and it started just coming so fast. It was like, never mind, like get anything you want to keep. And my dad, he left work and like wanted to come see what was going on to try to help us. And he was like, I don't know if he was in like a frozen state, but he wouldn't leave. And I was like, Dad, we need to go. He's like, no, I fought fires in Malibu. I'm going to stay and protect my house. I'm like, this is not like whatever you saw because it was, we're on the hill. It looks like a forest. The flames are as big as this building, just doing like those like flame tornado things you see in, I had to pull him away, and I was just yelling at him, like, get in the car, and I had to make him drive away. And then I see on my security cameras, he like faked me out and drove back. So then I'm watching my dad, and I'm already too far stuck in gridlock freeway. So I'm watching my dad on the security cameras with a little hose just like spitting at, and I'm just like, my dad's gonna die right now. And my mom's calling me crying, like, where's your dad? And so I couldn't even, it was so much going on with just like worrying about losing my dad that like I couldn't even process. Now I'm watching on the security cameras the flames coming up on our house and in the backyard and through the rooms and through the garage windows. And so it went from like haha, like getting content of the fire on the hill to like I'm in a horror movie.
Yeah. Is that what was going on for you?
I had my son homesick from school. He had 104 fever. I'd been up all night with him just trying to get his body temperature down and Tylenol, and I was just so worried about my son. And Spencer had said the fires are fine because our nanny ran in with Riker and she's like, there's a fire. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know. And then I look out the window and there's smoke flooding everywhere. So, you know, I'm worried about my son, and Spencer's like, it's fine. So I put my other son down, my 2-year-old, and then I'm taking care of my 7-year-old. And then Spencer's like, whatever you need, whatever you want to keep, pack. And I was like, how can you possibly choose, you know, and your brain just doesn't work that well, you know, in that state. And we already had like some paperwork, and my mom calls me and she's like, I can't believe you're there. What are you doing? The whole town's on fire. I'm like, the whole town's on fire? I don't know. I don't have the news on because my 7-year-old is so incredibly sick. He can't even stand up, and I didn't want to traumatize him and put on some news. So I'm packing as fast as I can and just getting a few things. You know, I pack for the kids mostly. I got them some clothes like for an overnight. I got their teddy bears, you know, and I'm just going into my closet like, what do I get? And I'm like wasting time just looking around, and I don't even know it. So I grabbed like 2 pairs of jeans and a shirt, and you know, and that's it. I grabbed a few of Spencer's cameras, and then I'm like, I gotta go. You know, I need to leave. And then I'm driving down. I'm like, Spencer, you're not gonna be able to get out. Nobody's in this town. We're like the last ones to leave this town. And I'm like, everything's catching on fire. You're not gonna, we have one way down and one way up. And so then I go to his parents' house down the street, and I'm like, this is an evacuation zone too. I can't stay here. You know, like I gotta leave from here. And so his mom's like, I should evacuate. And I have my kids running around. I have my 7-year-old on my back I'm carrying, and I have my 2-year-old in my hands, and I have no gas in the car. And then the engine oil thing pops on. I'm like, are we even gonna like make it out of here? So thankfully, you know, the fires already happened on Sunset, so we missed that. But I just went right, and then I was able to make it to a gas station a few miles later. But then I'm looking at Spencer, I'm yelling at him. I'm like, you gotta get out of there. Like, flames are coming down too. He's like, I'm not leaving my dad. I'm like, that's your dad's choice. Like, we have 2 kids, and you gotta leave. So yeah, the whole thing was just so traumatizing. So sad. And I'm so sad for all of our friends who lost everything in our community, and Spencer's childhood home and his family. And there's so many people without insurance. I mean, we don't even have proper insurance, and a lot of people in that town are really hardworking and bought in before it became this multi-million-dollar community. You know, like us, we can't rebuild our house like that. Now we are not on a TV show. We haven't been in years. We don't have our podcast. We don't have a continual income. We're really check to check and saving up to see my family once a year in Colorado. You know, like we work really hard for everything that we have, and most of our business is on social media and my music, and that's it. And the music just started picking up this year. But yeah, we're definitely check to check. Thankfully, Spencer has really been able to rally the nation and the world behind us for our music, which has been such a blessing to have everyone really support us and our family. With
By the way, what does that mean to see that people are going and they're playing the music over and over again just to support you?
I'll be your hot mess, schoolgirl and curls, whatever you take, baby, if that's what you like, I'll do it.
All of a sudden, you look up and you're number 1 in all these places around the world.
It's such a light in our darkest moment, and it really gives us such hope that, like, okay, we can rebuild and we can climb out of this, and we have that love and that support. I mean, I had a stranger come up to me, this woman, and she was like, can I just give you a hug? And I just hugged her so hard and started crying. So just to have that touch and that daily support has just meant so much.
Every dollar we made from the hills, we put into this album, Superficial. And for it to freaking finally get number 1 in America 15 years after.
How about for you, Spencer? Because that's a lot of weight on you. I mean, you hustled up something that was amazing.
I mean, it was just a moment, like, when I knew we just had no other option, like Heidi's saying, like, there is no income coming in. We don't have residuals. People keep tagging me, and they're like, rewatching The Hills for your residual. I'm like, don't ever watch that again. Like, I don't like that show. I don't like anything about it. We don't get $1. So this idea that like reality stars are these scripted movies, so there's no money coming in. So I was like, this is now or never. And it was just this freak horrible timing and good timing, which is so insane because this week was the 15th anniversary of this album. So I'd already had like it all scheduled, was like 6 remixes to like talk about before everything burned down. So when I'm having emails from the people that are like, hey, it's live. I'm like, oh my God, like we have this anniversary of your album, so we got to just keep people to stream it. And, you know, I never in my wildest, most optimistic dreams even imagine it would get in a chart, let alone global, you know, over 20 countries, #1. And, you know, these countries are like Netherlands, Australia, Oman, you know, Canada, like just places like I told Heidi, God willing, this keeps going. We're visiting all these countries. I'll be like, because now these people like, they really are changing our lives. And it gives me so much hope to be positive to all of our friends that don't have that going on. And I'm like, once we, because, you know, my only goal right now is to get success, rebuild our house, get my parents in a house, and then all my energy for the rest of my life is rebuilding my community where all my friends and family is, all my son's friends and family. So like, I just now have this like confidence, like I'm going to be in a place where I, you know, as you know, this just keeps going where, you know, you never know, but where I can be of so much help and put this platform that people have given me to help all the people that I do know that don't have TikTok and Snapchat and YouTube Shorts and tell their stories.
By the way, concern about TikTok going away because that has been a source of income.
I keep saying, you know, because when the flame came down the street, it, like there's no feeling I've ever had in my life. And then all of a sudden this week, it feels like this new flame is coming down to like burn everything that we have going on, because it is all TikTok. And I keep saying, you know, in terms of users, like I don't care who manipulates my data. Good luck manipulating me. And if people want to choose that, there's so much good that comes out of this platform, and it's helping so many lives. People get so much information. I mean, look what it just did. It just changed our entire future just in less than a week. And they're taking that away is just mind-boggling to me.